How can we preserve our digital assets to last past our lifetime? Hey, welcome back. Coming up on today's program, how to manage your digital assets and protect them when you die. What are these digital assets? Is it this? No, it's something a little more modern. And how will my digital assets be protected when I'm not around? So the question for you is, how are you planning to protect your digital assets after you die? Let me know what you think, anything you've experienced or observed. Welcome to What's Next with Money, a program that holds the promise of second chances, strategies for growth, and financial empowerment. Let's get started. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button. This helps move our content to more people who want to learn in a non-commercial, non-conflicted setting. And it's all free. So first, let's define digital assets. In the U.S., laws dealing with estate issues, estate planning, death, are handled at the state level, not really federal. And so you need to work that out. And state laws can be different. However, there's a movement to have uniform state laws. So the wisdom of the state legislators have tapped into something called the Revised Uniform Fiduciary Access to Digital Assets Act. It's a uniform law, otherwise known as rufata. Rufata, it sounds like a dog who's been cloned. Rufata. So I'm going to have a link. You can find out if your state participates in rufata, and most states have, and you can search under digital assets. You're going to have a link to find out about that. Well, what does this rufata thing do? It covers computers, tablets, smartphones, items that are uploaded on websites, photos, documents, records, email accounts, social media, electronic communications, cryptocurrencies. We've got a video on Bitcoin. So online purchases and sales like at Amazon and eBay, PayPal, music subscriptions, LinkedIn, YouTube, iCloud, OneDrive, all these backup services. Even your airline miles are up in the digital cloud. And they are, folks, transferable after death with the right information. Credit card points, cash back, ready to come back to your account. That is retrievable under this act. Contact lists, texts and emails, other media subscriptions, newspapers, magazines, and streaming services, voice recordings, even the ones you like and even the ones you save that you shouldn't have, and calendars. So this applies to folks that have this rufata. This applies to power of attorney holders, personal representatives like executors, and trustees. Now here's what these expert folks need to do. They need to disclose the existence of such accounts. And we have a video, we'll have a link to this, on how to organize your vital documents and financial records. So they have to catalog or list the digital items, and they have to act to help fiduciaries access and manage these digital assets. And just remember, Elvis has made much more money dead than alive, and so has Prince, Michael Jackson, and as a drummer, Jimi Hendrix and his drummer, Mitch Mitchell. I gotta just throw that in there. So what you can do, you can adjust your estate planning documents, your wills, powers of attorney, trust documents to reflect the idea of digital assets. Talk to your attorney, or if you use an online service, make sure they cover this important area. You may want to develop a master password list. Now this is the username, maybe the but look, it could be hackapalooza time. Do not post these passwords or any part of the passwords in your will. It could become public, and that is crazy. But just know that passwords can be part of this. You could engage a digital estate planning service. And this also introduces the idea, since we're talking about digital technology, It introduces the idea of a final greeting to a family, legacy advice, storytelling. Obviously, you want this recorded and digitized long before death or disability happens. Family history, the big decisions in key members of your family's life. Crisis, did they participate in the military? What was their role in history with their church or synagogue? Community involvement, vacation, special vacations, how I met your mother stuff. You get the picture, all that. That can be recorded. And we'll give you some ideas of how to do that in just a minute. You may want to name a digital executor, and some states allow that. Back to rufata, the dog who's been cloned. So this deals with what happens to non-financial digital assets. So we're talking about everything not financial. And a lot of your financial assets are real assets, but they're managed through digital accounts. So it's a little different than that. So now here's the special bonus you will not want to miss. And it's called a tech checklist before you die. Now this is actually a list developed by Joanna Stern, who's a technology writer for the Wall Street Journal. And I'm a journal subscriber, and I want my journal subscription to continue after I die because I like reading it so much. But she published this December 19th through 20th, 2020. Now, Joanna wrote about this and made a short documentary that I'm going to have a link for in this video about death and tech. I call it death tech, but she calls her documentary E-ternal, a tech quest to live forever. Sounds intriguing. So we will have the link in the comment section. Now, Joanna Stern is one of the most sincere writers and speakers at the Journal. And I have read her for a long time, and she is without a doubt one of the funniest writers at that publication. She covers how new technology can capture important life stories. Also, she notes how to keep on top of our digital lives. And aspects of this for broader context, I also cover in my YouTube video, how to organize your vital documents and financial records. So here's Joanna Stern's list to keep you on top of your digital life and those of your loved ones. Take inventory of your digital assets. Add a digital executor to your will. Add digital heirs to your accounts. Now you're saying, wait a minute, what is that? Well, as this issue becomes more profound and many of these platforms of social media age, they realize the members, the participants, are aging with them. So Facebook has created a way to assign a legacy contact, somebody that actually could memorialize the Facebook page of the person that died and have a profile upon their death. I don't know how long they can stay up, but they can do that. Google has a provision to be pre-named again before death, where you can name an inactive account manager. So the Google account kind of goes down and it stops, but this inactive account manager can step in and manage it. She also goes on to recommend to plan to pass on your password and your password list. Please do that in the most careful security way you can think of. I don't have any specific recommendations, but passwords need to move on to the next people, even these account managers that are named, so they can work the accounts. And finally, record your story. So we've alluded to this earlier, and in Joanna's documentary, the E-ternal documentary, she covers that quite well. Again, Joanna Stern, the brilliant writer of Technology, Wall Street Journal, December 19th through 2020. And just to wrap this up, since my father was in the funeral home business in Kentucky for just part of his career, I want to quote a multi-talented person, a former U.S. Senator from Tennessee, multi-talented U.S. Senator, Watergate lawyer, film and television actor, the late Fred Thompson, and a quote from his last book. He tells the story of an old-timer in Tennessee coming up to Fred, who was beginning his rise as an actor, and a political star. And he said to Fred, just remember, son, the turnout at your funeral is going to depend a hell of a lot on the weather. So, we're going to have a lot of links here to other videos that I think will be helpful. Be sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and don't forget to share this, because most of us have digital assets. And remember, new episodes of What's Next with Money are posted on Thursdays.